am so grateful to introduce to you my friend, Abby Johnson.
Or I guess howdy, as we say in Texas. I don't say that. But. Okay, it is so good to be here in Indiana. It is freezing here. I talked to my mom this morning and she said, oh, it's so cold here. It got down to 38. And I said, Mom, it's like 8 degrees here or something. And I said, I don't want to hear about your 38 degrees. I went to Nebraska. I was telling somebody earlier, I went to Nebraska a few weeks ago, and I was so excited because I got to see a bunch of snow, because we don't see snow in Texas. And if we get like even something that looks like sleet, everybody is bundled up in parkas, and you would think we had 16 inches of snow. And so, and school is closed for like 2 days, you know. And so I went to Nebraska. I was so excited. That was the first time I traveling where there was significant snow, and since doing this. And so I got up and I was so excited, and I thought that if you lived in the snow that you really appreciated it. So and so I was standing up there and I said, the first thing I said was, oh my gosh, I love the weather here. I love the snow. And I thought they were going to pull me off the podium and beat me up. I thought my life is in danger, and I thought everybody's faces, they were kind of like, grr. And I thought, never mind. I don't like the snow. I hate it. I just want to go back to Texas in the heat. Anyway, you know, what somebody said the other day, and this is so true, what a difference a year makes. And I was remembering, somebody had asked me what I was doing this time last year. And I was remembering that this time last year, I was getting geared up for one of the many NAF conferences. NAF is the National Abortion Federation, which I was very heavily involved in. And it was at that time also that I found out that the affiliate, I was part of the Houston affiliate, which is Planned Parenthood of Houston and Southeast Texas. That affiliate is actually one of the largest affiliates in the nation. And I had found out at that time that our affiliate was going to be soon providing late-term abortions up to 24 weeks. And that was actually very bothersome to me, because that was where I drew the line in the sand, was on late-term abortions. And so I think that was really the first time in many years that I had questioned whether I would want to continue my career with Planned Parenthood. And so I think that was really when God began to really open up my heart and open my eyes to what was going on inside of Planned Parenthood. So this was a good time of year for me. And then it was in August of 2009 that I had a budget meeting with my boss, my supervisor. Her name was Diane. And we were sitting down. They make up your budget for you. And which, if you ever made a budget, you know that's very nice to have it made up for you. But part of the budget is setting up client goals and number goals for you. And they tell you how many patients they want you to see in your family planning clinic. And they actually tell you how many patients they want you to see in your abortion clinic. And so they tell you, we want you to do at least this many abortions every month, which kind of seems bizarre, but they do. And so in August, when I was sitting down having that meeting, with my supervisor, I noticed in my numbers that my family planning numbers, my client goal, had stayed the same. And my abortion numbers had almost doubled my goal. And I was sitting there looking at it and pondering it for a minute, and I finally looked up and said, Diane, this doesn't really sit right with me. I mean, if we're an organization that's about prevention, right, because that's Planned Parenthood's mantra, prevention. If we're an organization that's about prevention, then shouldn't this kind of be the other way around? I mean, shouldn't it be that our preventative services are so high that our abortion services are really decreasing, or, I mean, at the very least staying the same? And she looked right dead into my eyes and said, Abby, you need to get your priorities straight. And she said, abortion needs to be your priority, because that's where we make our money. And I was so taken aback, I just looked at her and I said, Diane, abortion will never be my priority. And she said, well, then I don't think you're going to make it here. And thank God I did not make it there. But that was in August, and then it was September 26th that I actually saw the ultrasound-guided abortion that ultimately changed my life. I saw a 13-week baby in the womb fighting for its life, and then saw that baby lose the fight. And it was at that moment that my heart was changed. And it was at that moment that I realized the need for an increase in activism in the pro-life movement. I realized that Planned Parenthood is full of lies. That their organization is based on a foundation of lies. And at that moment, when I watched that baby pulling away from the suction instrument, and I watched the baby fighting to move away from it, I realized at that moment that I had lied to probably over 1,000 women. Because when women come in to have an abortion, they ask many, many questions. About 80% of women that come in for abortions claim to be Christians. And they ask a lot of questions about religion, things that you really don't feel like you can answer for them. Am I going to go to hell? Is God going to forgive me? Things about the baby's soul. But one of the questions that so many women ask, almost every single one of them, is, will my baby feel this? And every time I said no, because Planned Parenthood had told me no. And Planned Parenthood tells you how to answer those tough questions. That's what they call them. And so they give you a script of how to answer the questions. And so I stuck very closely to that script. And so I said no every time a woman asked me, because that's what I believed. But I saw the truth on that ultrasound. I saw that that baby felt every part of what was happening to it during that abortion. And I knew that every woman that had asked that question, I knew that I had lied to them. And I wondered at that moment, would it have made a difference? If I had known the truth, if I had told them the truth, would they have chosen life? If they knew their baby had a heartbeat, if they